So this is going to be a quick follow-up video to the latest LG software firmware update 03.30.68, and I had kind of noted something in the prior firmware, which I believe ended in .67 instead, that I noticed that there was something that had changed with like the color saturation on my LG C2 here. And with the latest firmware version .68, I noticed that it has returned to what I was used to before. So let me jump right in and show you what I'm talking about. So let me get the settings pulled up here. I'm in FilmMaker, go down to Advanced, go over to Color, and it's under this Fine Tune. And I had made note that when I first got the LG C2, obviously it was on prior firmware versions, that I would go in here, like when I was playing, say, Call of Duty, HDR gaming on the PS5, and I would keep it on medium because when I would make changes with these right here, I could see the color shift and it just had a little more pop, or whatever you want to call it. So, but I noticed something in a prior firmware. I don't know if it was the firmware before this one that's out now, or a couple firmwares ago that maybe I just didn't notice it. When I would make changes here, I would see no difference at all. But I'm happy to say that with .68 firmware that's out now, I can now see the changes. So what I want you to do is pay close attention to like maybe this gray background and like these two apps right here, and see if you can see on camera the color shift that I'm talking about. So it's on off currently. I'm gonna go ahead and hit high, and in person I can see this now change a little bit of color, and these get a little bit brighter. So I'm gonna go back to off, and it kind of returns to that, I don't want to call it like a reddish or yellowish, but more of that warm 50, you know, what do you call it? Let me back up here. I don't even know what it's called. Under white balance, you know, you set the color temperature at warm 50. When I make changes in here now, this is how it was before. And this is what I loved about it, is I have it off. When I go to high, I could see this white kind of brighten back up and the gray change a little bit here, and it has that extra little bit of pop now. So just to do the full test of this, let me back out of this real quick, and I have the PS5 going on another input here. So let me hop over into that, because really the test is, can I see that same change when I have the PS5 on for HDR gaming? So I'm here at the home screen, that should be good enough. Let's go ahead and get in. You see it says HDR select mode. It's under Game Optimizer. Let's go to Advanced Settings. Let's go to Color. And let's go back to Fine Tune. And you notice it's off because, again, I had mentioned in a prior video that I just went ahead and turned this off because if I am getting more input latency or delay or whatever you want to call it because of the extra processing, but I'm not getting the additional color bump that I'm looking for, then there was no reason to have it on, right? So let me go ahead and go back into here. You see it's off. Let me go to high. And I don't know how well this is picking up on camera, but when I go from off to high, I can see the color difference that had been missing in the prior firmware. So like I said, the whites kind of brighten up. They kind of, I don't know how to, they get more crispy. I don't know how else to say it. The whites, it probably pushes a little more blue. Maybe it's that extra little blue in it that makes them pop a little more, whatever it is. But when I go back to off, it goes back to that full-on warm 50 look. When I put on high, I can see that white kind of, you know, pop a little more, and it kind of brings back what I had been missing for quite a while now. So happy to say that this is one of the first things that I noticed since the newest firmware .68 has come out. Happy to report that the color adjustment feature seems to be working again, whether it be SDR like on the Apple TV 4K I just showed you, or HDR gaming like I show you here with the PS5. So happy to report that. I'm going to continue to mess around with the settings, do more testing, see what else I come across. But if you did enjoy the video, consider hitting the like button. Really helps me out. If you're new here, appreciate you watching. Now's a great time. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications so you know when I do uploads. And until the next one.